Knicks are a good team. They have great talent. They're an offensive juggernaut when they want to be. But the big problem with this Knicks team, and I frankly don't know when it's going to get fixed. I don't know what Mike Brown does at practice. Is Mike Brown going to get that change sooner rather than later? I sure fucking hope so. It's not sustainable. Christmas Day, they were down 18-3. They thought 12 p.m. was a 9 a.m. game. This is not going to cut it. Forget about the rest of the regular season, the playoffs. You'll be out in the second round. Maybe not the first, but the second round, you'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTB podcast. I'm your host, Chris Kolek, alongside my co-host, Dom Savino. We'll be discussing the week that was. The Jets move up a spot in the draft, while the Giants unfortunately win a game at the wrong time. The Mets and Yankees just simply aren't active enough, but the Knicks keep on rolling. However, there is still one massive problem with them, but can they overcome it sooner than later? We will discuss that harrowing topic in a bit, but first, do me a favor, take a seat.
Let's talk.
I am congested.
Man, I don't know what's going on. Everybody's getting sick.
Dude, everybody that I know, everybody that I work with right now, you don't even know how many people have called out sick at my job.
It's like, I don't know if it's true, but I saw like a thing on Instagram where it said that this is like the worst flu in like a decade.
Dude,
It seems
I got into the office at 7. A woman called the management team. It's like if you don't answer, it yells out on the loudspeaker, call holding at 555, and you pick it up. You press the number 5 3 times and you answer. And generally it's an associate calling out sick. I think in a span of 20 to 30 minutes, I got 3, all having the flu.
wow.
Yeah. So what we're trying
Not
to
good.
tell you folks is, as Dom said a week or two ago, start taking your vitamins, and I'd probably double up whatever dose of vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, whatever you've been taking, and I would double that dosage because I don't think I'm getting the flu. I got plans Wednesday night, so I hope not. But I'm definitely a little congested. You could probably hear it. Sorry if it bothers anyone listening to this. I apologize. Not much I can really do. I've been trying to take stuff, but everyone's getting sick. But anyway, Dom, how are you feeling, and how was your weekend?
Thankfully, I'm feeling all right. And this was the first weekend I've been off since I can't even tell you, like June? No, not even like May. I
Nope,
think it was like
nope,
May. I think
no, probably April.
April. You're
I would
right.
say April.
April.
April. Yeah.
This is the first weekend off I've been off since April, and it felt amazing, and I didn't do shit, and that's exactly how I wanted it to be.
Uh-huh.
It
Nice.
was amazing. I forgot how it feels to be off on a weekend,
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
good. But
I know.
how about you, though?
It was good. I was not off this past weekend. Definitely not. It was a bit busy because of the holiday. Definitely the weekend before that too. So the last 2 weekends have been busy, but it was good. Friday didn't do much. Saturday went out, got home not too late, but not too early either. And then Sunday just hung out. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really watch the Jets play. Didn't watch the Giants at all. But I watched other games like the Bills game. You know, there were a few other games that I did watch, the Steelers Browns. So watched some football, but weekend was pretty chill. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, we have New Year's Eve coming up in a couple of days. This will be our last episode of 2025. So once we do our next episode, while Dom, would you like to tell the folks where you're going later today, or no?
I'll be in Puerto Rico. I'll be in Puerto Rico, and my first time, and We'll be traveling all over from the east side to the west side, and it should be a good trip. I'm excited.
This guy's doing a lot more traveling than I am. That's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's nice. Good for you. That should be pretty enjoyable. That'd be a fun time. I will say I did book my flight tickets on Christmas Eve to Tampa for Gasparilla the end of January, so that should be fun. So I'm going down there again. So that should be nice. But no Puerto Rico, no DR, no Turks, nothing like that. So it's all right. It's all right. Get out of the cold for a few days, so that'll be nice. But
Yeah.
that's also why we're recording on a Monday because Dom is leaving at 5 o'clock today and going on his vacation trip. So we're recording on a Monday. So the episode should be out 5 p.m. tomorrow on a Tuesday, so a day early. So for the FTB lovers, shout out my brother's dog Theo. He should be thrilled about the episode coming out a day early. So that should be great. But yeah, that's really it from us regarding the weekend. So we're gonna start the order a way that we've never done before. This is gonna be the first time the way we do this order, and we are going to start with the NBA. I don't think since we started this podcast we ever went this way, and actually the MLB is gonna go last, just because
For
I don't
good
know if you
reason.
heard the intro. There's not much going on, so you know.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. So, starting with the NBA, Knicks could go 3-0 after tonight's game versus the Pelicans. They beat the Cavs on Christmas Day. Side note, of course, they lost last Tuesday. Me and Don predicted that the week before. So that's no surprise. They didn't really have anybody playing that game. So the Knicks beat the Cavs on Christmas Day. Tyler Kolek, Dom, this kid's really shining, man. He is really he's making you more you than me look real good right now, saying that he needs to play. And he is a serious floor general. I'm actually excited to see him play against a pretty bad defensive team in the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. So that should be good to see. So they beat the Cavs on Christmas Day by 2, 126, 124. Then they beat the Hawks on Saturday. They had a lead, but Dom said it, between Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, uh, I forget the nickname, the Great Barrier Thief. They call this kid. What is it, Dyson Daniels? It's a great nickname. It's a
That's a great
fantastic nickname. He is a lethal defender. But they luckily beat the Hawks 128, 125. Then of course they play the Pelicans tonight. Dom, there is one big problem with the Knicks, but I'm gonna let you analyze first before I say what that big problem is, so you can take it away with your analysis from last week.
Well, just so I can prove to people what's going on when people are asking us, no, why should we trade Cat? Why why should we get Giannis? Why should we blow this team up? I'm gonna start off with the Hawks game first. Cat dropped 36 points and 15 rebounds. Offensively, that's an amazing game. No one can deny that at all. But he had a -7, a -7. How is anyone going to argue with me now?
That is terrible.
And
I didn't
we,
even look at that. It was a -7.
yeah, -7, and we barely won. And like I said, we had to score at least 125, 130 points, right? And we got lucked out because of OG with this clutch stop at the end, with his clutch
Once
steal.
again. Once again.
Once again, he does it all the time, and like it does suck because he's been off for the past few games, but he always makes it up at the end. If he's not shooting well, he's gonna have 3 or 4 steals a game, or he's gonna block a couple of people, or you just can't score off him. So as much as I want to really get on his offense, it is really hard for someone to be a two-way player in this league, especially nowadays. So, I mean, he didn't really do great on Christmas or against the Hawks. So against the Cavs, only had 8 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from three. I mean, that's literally nothing. And then against the Hawks, he dropped 15 points, He went 3 of 10 from the field and 2 of 5 from three. So I mean, that's really nothing considering a player who's making $210+ million.
Yeah.
But he is one of the best defenders in the league, and I'll stand by that. And he makes it up at the end. So I guess it just goes back to zero at that point. But I guess someone that we should talk about whose name we never even said on this podcast, maybe once we did during Summer League, Kevin McCullough against the Hawks. He had the game of his life, dropped 13 points, and he saved us. He hit half of his threes, 3 of 6. He's aggressive. He doesn't care. He's not scared to make a move to the basket. He's not afraid to shoot. I'm sure his mentality is like, fuck it. This might be one of my only times I'm playing the regular season, so let me just not pass the ball and go to the hole. And it worked out. It worked out for him big time. And it's next man up mentality. I think that's the vibe that we have going on with this team, and it's a great mentality to have. And yeah, like with Tibbs, they would always say, "Oh, next man up," but we didn't have a bench to do that. Now we finally have a deep bench,
Well, it
and
wasn't
it
just
feels
that. Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but it wasn't just that we didn't have the bench to do it. Let's be
Tibbs won't
real.
play.
Exactly. Even if we had the bench, Tibbs wasn't putting him in the game. So,
Yeah, he wouldn't play them.
no.
That's why everyone's so surprised at Kolek, because we didn't have a chance to see him play. We didn't at all. And then Brunson against the Hawks, he got in foul trouble early, but he still dropped 34 points, even though he went 15 to 29. And I'm going to go back to Cat for a second. He dropped 36 points, but he went 7 of 18 from the free throw line. I'll tell you right now, I'll take that any day. When it comes to Cat, I'd rather him do this than hit 7 threes, honestly. Because we know from last playoffs, he's not going to shoot the three when it comes to playoff time. For some reason, his body shuts down, or his mental shuts down, and he's afraid to shoot a three. And then he's always just trying to force something in the paint. But you know what? If that's what your game is going to be during playoff time, then hey, go to the hole as much as you want. And also, you're a 7-foot center. Like, this is how it should be. I know the game has changed a lot over the past decade, but, this is how centers should play. They should be going to the line around this much. At least 15 free throws to 20 free throws, whatever. It's how it should be, honestly. And this is what I expect from Cat. The threes are just a bonus to us. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why we got him, so we can spread the floor. But you got to post up people. You got to get people in foul trouble. These are just simple things as a center that you need to do. So I'm hoping that this is going to be his route for the rest of the year. But I'm sure like he'll have some shooting games where it's good or bad, but this is what we need to see from him during the playoffs. No matter who the center is, no matter what. So we'll see, but I hope that he's not on the team during the playoffs, which is obviously a hot take for many people, but let's see how this trade deadline goes. And then against the Cavs, Tyler Kolek, hero of the game. He went absolutely crazy. I was so hyped watching this game. We had 16 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, 9 assists. He had the game of his life. And I was so happy watching this kid play. And like Chris has been saying, I've been saying this since last year. I've been saying it since Summer League. I didn't care about how shitty of a Summer League that he had. I was not worried at all. And one injury, and look what happens. Deuce is out, and then Tyler Kolek comes in. Next man up. And then Chris's favorite player dropped 25 points, Jordan Clarkson, on Christmas. I know Chris was thrilled for that. He played great defense. Wink, wink. And, but yeah, he had the game of his life too. I mean, the biggest stage, Christmas Day, Madison Square Garden. What more can you ask for? And that crowd seemed absolutely rocking the entire game, which I was pretty jealous because I wish I was there. What do you think about your boy?
All right. So I mean, after all that, I have a few things I'm gonna say. For starters, number one, Jordan Clarkson will never be my boy. I could tell you that right now. Jordan Clarkson's defense is as bad as, frankly, any person who just can't see. I mean, that guy cannot defend at all, even if I don't know, he had some sort of help and it was a 2-on-1 and you had a like a you know how you do 1v1 in the gym, even 2v1 is 1v1 because you can't count Jordan Clarkson trying to defend with you. So it would just be 1v1. He is just absolutely brutal of a defensive watch for any Knicks fan. But yes, he did play well. He scored 25 points. That was nice. Listen, that's the problem. Okay. If he's not defending, he's got to be making his threes. Luckily for the Knicks, he was making his threes. So the defense was, I guess, at least acceptable. It wasn't good. It was acceptable. So yeah, he had a pretty big game. Uh is that the biggest stage? Christmas Day on MSG? It's one of them. It's not the biggest. But yeah, that's a pretty big stage. So yeah, he did do well, 25 points, but he will never be my boy. Neither will he be a boy of Mike Breen's either. So that's number one. Number two, Kevin McCullough Jr. is somebody we did bring up during the summer league this past summer because he was scoring a good amount. His defense is very good. And Dom, he said it in the post game after the Hawks game Saturday night. He's been following Josh Hart a lot. And Josh Hart has been a serious big brother essentially to him and showing him the ropes on how to be aggressive, on how to get rebounds, wreak havoc on the court. Those are all things that Josh Hart does. And of course, shooting threes and scoring because Josh Hart has been shooting the 3-point shot better than any season he's ever shot it from. So Kevin McCullough has obviously been taking notes from Josh Hart. Josh Hart also texted at halftime shouting out Kevin McCullough Jr. But me and Don were saying this before we started airing this episode today. Kevin McCullough Jr. was a fantastic college player at Kansas before he got hurt. The Knicks, we thought him and Tyler Kolek were steals in the draft. We thought those two were steals. And now look, they're actually shining and they're helping out the Knicks, a lot because of course injuries are a part of every sport. So it's great to see Kevin McCullough put his, fingerprints and a stamp on that game. Dom, it's funny you mentioned Deuce out, Kolek in. It may be the reverse tonight. I just read that Deuce McBride has been upgraded to probable, and now Tyler Kolek's been downgraded to questionable. So for the Pelicans game tonight, so we'll see who plays. Obviously, this episode's not going to be posted until tomorrow, so everybody will find out tonight who plays and who doesn't. But regardless of that injury report, Tyler Kolek has really taken advantage of the minutes that have been given to him from Mike Brown. And Deuce McBride coming back only helps the bench. It definitely doesn't hurt it. Before Deuce got hurt, he was shooting the lights out behind the arc, and he had a record percentage, a record 3-point percentage for the season, really for his whole entire 3-point shooting career. So it's a great acquisition for the Knicks bench. I hope Tyler Kolek still plays. And I'm not just talking about tonight. I'm talking about going forward. I'm sure he will. He definitely earned it. He deserves to get more playing time. But that's that. Regarding Cat, right? How the Knicks have to score over 125, 130 points to win. We said this from the beginning. I know Dom definitely did. And yes, the Knicks are a good team. They are. They have great talent. They look like they can go somewhere. They're an offensive powerhouse. They're an offensive juggernaut when they want to be. But the big problem with this Knicks team, and I frankly don't know when it's going to get fixed. I don't know what Mike Brown does at practice. I'm not really sure. IDP, inconsistent defensive play. There is no consistency when it comes to defense. There's none. Every time I watch this team play, they just don't defend well enough. Here we go again. Jordan Clarkson can't defend. Jalen Brunson can't defend. I know we're giving a lot of credit to Tyler Kolek, but Dom, Tyler Kolek can't defend.
Nope,
He can't.
you can't.
He's another guy. I don't understand it. Do point guards not defend anymore? Is that like the thing? Damian Lillard is not a good defender. The only point guard that I really saw in my lifetime that was seriously good at defense was Chris Paul. I mean, that was really it. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. Jason Kidd, I wasn't really old enough to watch him play defense. I heard he was great on defense, but
Yeah, Jason
I
Kidd
saw him
was
when he was on the decline. And even with the Knicks, that one season we were in 8th grade, 2012, 2013 season. He was a great defender, but not what he was with the New Jersey Nets. So really, I mean, Dom, tell me another name, but I feel like the only point guard that actually defended well in our lifetime was Chris Paul. Is there
mm,
anybody else?
if I could think right now, I mean,
I just don't
yeah,
know.
Rondo was pretty good.
Okay.
Rondo was a good defender. I don't think Tony Parker was.
Not really. No.
No. Um, yeah, it really is a short list. There really is
I
a
mean,
short list of defenders. But
yeah,
also now you got to also remember that obviously there's rookies and rookies coming in, and they're more athletic and they're getting tall as shit. I mean, look at Cade Cunningham.
yeah.
How tall is he? What is he? 6'6", 6'7",
I can look
something
it
like
up.
that. Like,
I can look it up.
Cade
Let's see.
Cunningham is he's a tall guy.
I think you're right. I think his height. Yeah, he's 6'6". Yeah, yeah,
Like Chris Paul was what 6'2".
yeah. He's short. Well,
Like
hey, Jalen Brunson 6'2". Tyler Kolek's
yeah,
not that tall.
no, he's not.
Yeah. But, listen, I don't want to harp on the point guards not defending very well because there are obviously other players on the Knicks as well, aside from the point guard position that can't defend. They do have good defenders, but the problem is even their good defenders, aside from OG, are just not consistent enough on defense. So is Mike Brown going to get that change sooner rather than later? I sure fucking hope so because they just can't keep on giving up 125, 130 points a game and look to win. It's just, again, we've said this constantly. It's not sustainable. They have to find a way to play better defense, and it's got to look a lot cleaner because from what I was seeing on Saturday, it was terrible. Christmas Day, they were down 18-3. Now, they weren't shooting very well, but I'm watching their defense. They look like they thought 12 p.m. was a 9 a.m. game, like they were on the West Coast. I mean, they looked so sloppy on defense, and
Really did.
Mike Brown's got to get it together because Mike Brown is a defensive minded coach. So I don't know what they have to do, but they're not good on switches. The pick and roll situation is becoming a real problem. Yes, I know it's hard to guard, but if you want to be a real good defensive team like OKC, you gotta do a lot better than what you're doing right now because
Yep.
this is not going to cut it. Forget about the rest of the regular
No.
season, the playoffs. You'll be out in the second round, maybe not the first, but the second round you'll be bounced. You won't go far.
I do have a question, and this is gonna sound weird because I love Tyler Kolek, but as I've said before, I'm a realist. Now his trade stock is going up, right? We have a player in Tyler Kolek who is a floor general, as we say, and he upgrades our offense. But now we also have Deuce, who before he got hurt was having the best season of his career and is a great defender. If you had to trade one of them, would you rather have better offense, someone who is more flexible with us running the floor, or a better defensive presence, but someone who is not really backup point guard material?
So here's my answer to you on that. And honestly, that's a great question. My answer to you is that can't be solved until I would say 3 to 5 days before the trade deadline. And where does that put them? That puts them February 1st. So right now, what's today's date, Dom? December 29th? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So today's December 29th. They have literally essentially a month because I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'll February 1st, I'll be wrapping up my trip in Tampa. Yeah, so yeah, they have until February 1st. So put it this way, you have to see who is injured and who's healthy. And based off that, that'll give you a good answer of who should stay, who should go. If Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG, if those guys are healthy, you can get Cat to play better defense. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, obviously. But if you can get Cat to play better defense, if you can get some of the Kevin McCullough Jr., I think he's earned himself minutes. He was looking like a raving mongoose on defense for crying out loud. I think he could really play good defense going forward. Maybe Diawara, Huck Porty. If you could get a good core of defensive players healthy and ready to go night in, night out, you could trade Deuce McBride. But if one or two of those guys are hurt, I mean, I understand Tyler Kolek can run the floor and he could score. Not having defense is really going to bite them in the ass in the playoffs. Now,
Yeah.
me personally, what is my full on answer after all of that being said? I would trade Deuce McBride because I expect these guys to even play through injury if they have to. And I think the training staff for the Knicks is good enough for them to stay healthy. And you do need a backup point guard and somebody who can run the floor the way Tyler Kolek does. And he obviously was scoring for the last week or so that he was playing. And we were screaming over the summer and more importantly at the beginning of the season that they need to get a backup point guard with now Malcolm Brogdon retiring. Right? Once Malcolm Brogdon
Hmm.
retired, we were like, who's going to be the backup point guard and run the offense? Well, you just found the answer from what it looks like right now. You found the answer in Tyler Kolek. So now you can't just turn around and trade him on February 1st. So I expect these good defensive players, this core nucleus of young defensive talent, to be healthy and around from February 1st on. I would trade Deuce McBride.
So I'm the same way. Like when I was talking about like the trade, I'm talking about a Giannis trade. If people are confused, if it's for Giannis, yes, I'm giving up Deuce.
Yeah.
But for some reason, let's say we trade for somebody else, and it's not like a great defensive player like Giannis, then I give up Kolek because we would need Deuce for defense. We like I don't know, like example, I don't know, some like a Dante DiVincenzo, or like just an example, right? Like someone that's not a great defensive player. Then I would say give up Kolek because we're gonna need the defense.
Uh
But
huh.
specifically with the Giannis trade, yes, I'm giving up Deuce McBride
Uh
because
huh.
like, obviously Giannis is a way better defender than Deuce is, even though Deuce is a great defender as well.
Right. Right. I understand where you're coming from with that. I just feel like, regardless, I mean, here's the thing, right? If you trade away Tyler Kolek for, say, like a Dante DiVincenzo, can Dante DiVincenzo run the floor the way Tyler Kolek can?
Definitely not. But he
So,
does play good defense and he's a good shooter and you can never go wrong with good shooters.
yeah, yeah, I guess so. It's just, once again, I don't trust Deuce McBride to run the floor the way Tyler Kolek does at all. Right? I mean, I've
No.
said this before. He's a shooting guard. He's
Me-
not a point guard. So we'll see, right? That's a little over a month away. As we get closer to it, uh, we're also probably going to have a post trade deadline episode like we just did with the MLB, right? We did a post winter meetings thing with the MLB. I know we didn't do a post trade deadline thing for the NFL. Frankly, it just wasn't necessary. I mean, we had Sauce Gardner getting traded while we were doing a regular episode on a Tuesday. So we just didn't feel the need to have that happen. There weren't any massive names that occurred. But obviously for Mets and Yankees, MLB trade deadline's a big deal. And it's only gotten bigger as the years have gone on. But
Yeah.
post NBA trade deadline, it'll be our first, and we will be looking to do it in February. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is Knicks are a good team. They have a lot of talent. Their defensive play is not good enough still. And I
Nope.
know Dom said it last week. I even put it out as a reel, as a short on it. They still have a lot of room to fix on defense. So that's really all I have to say. Dom, do you have anything else to say regarding the NBA?
I'm just gonna say it again. I don't think anyone can argue with me now about Cat. After against the Hawks, I think I'm winning this argument against people. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean his defense is terrible. I mean it's and the thing is too. Actually, thank you for bringing up his name. I forgot one thing. I know you were talking about driving to the hoop. Dom, he is, I will give him credit on this. He's now picking the right moments to drive. He's seeing that there's actually space for a change because he likes to just plow his way through three guys and then just scream that he just got fouled. Dude, you're running through three defenders. I mean, there's no space there. They're not just going to give you the foul because you're Cat and you're 7 feet tall, and you just feel the need to scream it at the refs every time. He actually, and more recently than the rest of the season, he's actually finding space in the lane near the paint to the hoop, and he's taking it. Whereas before, for 90% of the season so far, he's just been running like a nut job trying to get to the hoop and draw a foul. It's not going to work. So he's doing a little better at that, but he needs to keep that up with what he's been doing recently and stray away from what he was doing at the beginning of the year. So that's everything with the NBA. Now we're moving on to the NFL. Dom, they won a game. The only problem is this wasn't the time to win the fucking game.
What have I said for the past 2, 3 weeks? What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
What did I
This
tell
I
you?
knew this was exactly going to happen. This is what they did last year, and that they had one of their best games in the worst moment again. And I want to talk about Tiki Barber for a second because I heard him yesterday saying, you know, everyone's saying that this is so bad for the organization, because we can get the first pick and now we have the second pick. He's saying it doesn't make that much of a difference when it comes to the 1 and 2. And then when it comes to like the locker room, like it's good for everyone. Everyone wants to win. Like players don't really care about like the draft order and stuff. Like it feels good for like the organization or organizational standpoint. I'm sorry, as a fan, I don't think we give a shit about what the players are thinking when it comes to a game like this. Am I wrong? I'm
No.
real. I'm really. You're making millions of dollars anyway. I don't think anyone cares, right? That's number one. Number two, it actually does matter if we're number 1 or 2 in the draft order because who the hell is really going to draft number 2? Like trying to trade up for number 2. Not as many teams as number 1. And plus, if we were number 1, we get a way better trade package. Now that we're at 2, we're stuck. And we're number 2 for now. I don't know. The Cowboys are out. They might just flank this shit too. You know that we're playing on Sunday. We're playing against the Cowboys. Like, you never know. Maybe they want us to win. Obviously, Dallas hates us as an organization and just a divisional rival. They might just give up the game too. Just be like, you know what? Let's ruin the Giants draft order. Let them win. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Like I obviously that Tiki Barber played in the NFL, so he will say that. He will say that it feels good for the organization, feels good for the players. He's obviously on the player side on this. Well, I hate to break it to you, I'm not a player. I look nothing like a player. I played Pee Wee football. That was it. I did high school workouts for football. Funny and pathetic story for the viewers. I trained with the high school football team, like doing workouts and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Like, I want to play football. Like, this is going to be really fun. I did the whole winter. I did like some spring stuff. And then the coach was like, I can't wait to see you every day in the summer. I'm like, Every day? What do you mean every day?" He's like, "Yeah, like we practice every single day in the summer, and then at the end of the summer we have Hell Week." Then I was like, "Oh, then fuck this. Then I'm not doing that. I'm trying to go to the beach. You kidding me? I'm not. You want me to go to? You want me to go to Brooklyn, 97-degree weather, passing out, practicing every day? I'm good. I like the ocean and the beach. Uh, yeah, I sort of wasted my time, but I mean, I got a little swole. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I sort of wasted my time a little bit.
Huh.
But
Wow.
yeah, I don't look like a football player. Football is fun though, I'll give you that. But yeah, the Giants, they ruin themselves every single year. We got lucky last year. We got lucky last year of the picks that we got. I mean, if you're asking me a year ago from today, would you get Cam Ward or Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart? I probably would say Cam Ward. Just because no one really knew much about Jackson Dart yet, but everyone knew that Abdul Carter was a problem. But we needed a quarterback. And Cam Ward looked lights out in college.
Oh yeah.
I mean, coming from a Miami alum himself,
Yeah.
so last year, a year ago today, I would say, give me Cam Ward. But now look at him with Tennessee. But not gonna lie, I don't even think Joe Montana can pull Tennessee out of this hole that they're in. So it worked out for the better for us, for sure, and for the future. But what about this year? What if the Raiders, yeah, they need a quarterback, but what happens if they're like, screw it, we don't really like this guy Mendoza, we'll trade, and then go for someone who needs anything else, like a receiver or a lineman or a corner or anything. Nowadays, I don't really think it's that much of a promise that a quarterback is going to be taken number one overall. That's
Mm.
a more popular pick, obviously, but you never know what's going to happen. And plus, there's still trades going up until draft day. So
Right.
they messed themselves up again, and it's just sickening to even have this sweatshirt on, to be honest. My mother got this for me for Christmas, and it's awesome, really cool.
It's nice.
But yeah, if I didn't just get this, I would want to burn it.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate win. I understand what Tiki Barber is saying, but I completely agree with you. From a fan's perspective, hearing out the players and how they feel and what they think, yeah, I could give two shits about that either. I'm sorry, I don't care. You're making as much money as you're making, which is a lot more than most, obviously. The Giants are going to have to be strategic. I'm expecting them to lose next Sunday. Obviously, I'll get on the Jets in a little bit here too. I fully expect them to lose next Sunday. I would like them to, especially with Cleveland beating the Steelers this past Sunday. So the Giants, they just have to figure out some sort of way to help out Jackson Dart for next year. Hopefully, they get Cam Scatterbo back fully healthy and ready to go. Same with Malik Neighbors. The Giants have the talent. I don't know what the draft is going to look like come the end of April, but right now the Giants are sitting at 2. And who's going to be running the draft? Obviously, Dom is hoping that it's not Joe Shane, but I think it's going to still be Joe Shane, honestly. That's just how I feel on that. It's unfortunate that that's the truth, in my opinion, but I think that's what it's going to be. But yeah, the Giants beating the Raiders, yeah, it was definitely not a great outcome by any stretch of the imagination for Giants fans. Anything else you have to say before I touch on the Jets?
Well, there are analysts expecting Joe Shane to come back as a general manager.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
That's what analysts are saying. And then also it came out this morning, I believe, Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, he said, let's run it back. So he's not coming to the NFL. And I talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was just all smoke. That was just nothing.
Yep.
They were just making shit up last week. But honestly, I'm glad. I'm glad he's staying, and I'm glad he's not going to be the head coach of this team. He had no NFL experience at all. So I'm glad he's out of our equation.
Right.
But I don't know what's going on with the Mara family and the Tish family. I mean, I know there's a lot going on with John Mara and him having cancer, and prayers go out to him, and we hope that he does okay and beats this thing. I don't know what's going on. There's no plan. We had one of the worst seasons in franchise history, and with this general manager, man, he's still going to be here. I mean, if that's the case, then we could have just kept Dave Gettleman. I mean, because he drafted some good players too. So, if is that the only reason why Joe Shane's here? Because he drafted some good players. Same with Dave Gettleman, and he was god awful.
Yeah.
So tell me, like what the hell's going on? And when I say that, I've been saying that for the past 5 years. What the hell's going on? Because no one has a clue.
I'm going to say this. I was going to save this statement for the end of the episode. I'm just going to say it now. Aside from the New York Knicks, no New York sports team that we discuss on this podcast has a full blown plan.
No,
Nobody does.
nope.
The Giants don't have it. The Jets don't have it. The Mets don't have it. The Yankees don't have it. All four of those teams don't have a fucking plan. I don't really know what they discuss. I'm not really sure what their blueprint, what their layout is going to be for 2026. But I got to tell you, the piece of paper must be blank. It has to be, because I'm not really sure what is even going to get done. Now what? This year's over in 3 days. So, like, I don't really know what's going to get done for 2026. It looks quite bleak, if you ask me. But that is everything with the Giants. There's my statement I was going to save, but it was just too fitting to say it now. I'm going to talk about the Jets, and folks, I am not going to touch on that horrendous football game at all. They lost 42-10. They looked lifeless. They looked defeated. They looked like they were just wasting their time out there. And honestly, they shouldn't have even shown up. I don't know what Aaron Glenn says to himself. I'm not really sure if he should even do post-game press conferences after the game. Yesterday, he said his team gave no effort, and then he watched the tape and went back to the press conference reporters in the morning and said, "Oh wait, I'll take that. I rescind that statement. I looked at the tape. They actually did play well. Aaron, do me a fucking favor. Send me that tape. I want to watch it. I want to watch the tape." I only watched like 50% of the game. And I could already tell you the 50% that I watched is nothing of what you said you watched. Nothing. So whatever fucking tape you watched, I want you to I'll send you my address. You could ship it over. I'll even pay for the shipping fee. I want to watch that tape because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So that's number one. Number two, and this again goes to Aaron Glenn, from how the players act and how the players talk to the reporters and how they play on the field dictates who's going to be back here next year. And I don't think it should be Aaron Glenn. I think he should
So
be one and done.
so you're saying that they don't like him and they don't trust him.
I just don't think they give a shit. I just don't. I don't think they give a shit. Jeremy Rucker today was like, "Oh, I'd run through a wall for that guy." How? You suck. Jeremy, you suck. You're not good, pal. You're awful. Your father is watching you play out Long Island in Lindenhurst. My cousin's wife is from Lindenhurst. Okay, I could have her maybe send a phone call and a voicemail over to the guy and tell him how much you suck. Bottom line is, you're not a good football player. Of course you run a wall through him. You don't play. So you're just trying to save face in front of the cameras and the reporters. You're 3 and whatever. I'm going to try to do the math here. What are they? 3
13?
and whatever they are, 3 and 13? I mean, they're terrible. Thank you for doing the math, Dom. I'm congested, getting a little sick. It's hard to think about it right now because the Jets are so terrible. I mean, they're terrible every year, so nothing's really changed. But
Well, you
3 and
want to know why?
13, huh?
You want to know why I know that? The
Why?
Giants have the same fucking record.
There you go. Tremendous. That's easy. Then the
They'll be
math
2
is.
and 14, but
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They should be, but they're not. So, yeah, I think Aaron Glenn should be gone. I don't think he should be here. From what I saw, and you're one, again, I've said this so many times. I love Connor Rogers. He's a great reporter, great analyst, does fantastic work for NBC Sports and SNY. I was listening to the post game. once again, he's 100% correct. All of the things that Aaron Glenn said at the beginning of the year, no penalties. Well, I'm going to hold people accountable. If they don't play well by the half, I'm going to bench them. I'm going to take them out by the next week early. I'm going to be honest, we didn't really see any of that. There were a ton of penalties. Guys, maybe occasionally they were held accountable. I mean, for crying out loud, you can't even really count Isaiah Williams anymore. The only guy that he really held accountable in terms of like being released or being benched really was Xavier Gibson. And he got cut after like the first or second week. So who's really being held accountable? Isaiah Williams, I've never seen in my life. Isaiah Williams called a fair catch at the 2-yard line, got cut, added to the practice squad because he passed waivers, then comes back and looks like the best, I don't know, punt and kick returner in the NFL. I mean, I've never seen it in my life. So he doesn't count. So the only person that you've held accountable is Xavier Gibson, not Justin Fields. Justin Fields was playing, I don't even know what he was playing. Thought he was in like the CFL. The guy was playing on the field he should have never been playing. Honestly, I honestly think he was like throwing the ball and saying, he's down there somewhere, and he just chucked it 50 yards. Or he was giving a handoff to the running back, and he's like, oh, quickly, hurry up, they're coming. And there was no protection on the offensive line because they didn't really know what play they were running, and it was not communicated to each other. The Jets look like fucking shit, but they look like that every year. But Aaron Glenn cannot be the coach next year. It is time to get an offensive-minded coach. Period. I mean, listen, you want to talk about more than just a coach. The Jets need a lot more than just a coach. I mean, they have so many positions that they have to try to fix on defense and offense. I mean, offensive line's pretty strong. I think they have that wrapped up pretty much. I mean, they're hoping that Elijah Vera Tucker, I don't know. They got to see what they're going to do about him. I mean, he's technically a free agent after this year. Are they going to bring him back? I would think they're going to maybe look at a team-friendly deal, maybe play around with that possibility. They need another wide receiver. I think they should look at that in the draft. Right now, they're the second overall pick. Or I'm sorry, the third overall pick after obviously the Browns beating the Steelers this past Sunday, and it's Browns Bengals this Sunday. So Browns could win again, and the Jets they're going to get smoked. I mean, we'll give our predictions in a bit here, but I think they're going to get smoked by the Bills. The Bills just lost to the Eagles by 1, so I think the Bills are going to go into it really looking to get a win before the start of the playoffs. So the Jets are going to get smoked. I mean, they don't play well in Buffalo anyway. So there's that. So that's everything for the NFL. And of course, Jets and Giants are just looking to get through the season, looking towards the draft order and the free agency market in March. But now moving to the MLB, I mean, Dom, I don't really have anything else to say regarding like the Mets. The Yankees just are like sipping Mai Tais in Bora Bora. I don't really know what the hell they're doing. I haven't read any Mets news while you were talking a little bit regarding the Giants. I was trying to look to see on Twitter if there was any news regarding the Mets, and I haven't seen anything. I didn't read shit on it. So I don't know if you've seen anything for the Yankees, but I don't really have much to say regarding the MLB.
Like, they have the worst offseason ever. The MLB. What's his name? Jeff
Yep.
Passan,
Passing.
whatever.
Passing.
Passan. He hasn't posted in 3 days. He hasn't tweeted anything in 3 fucking days.
That's wild. That's nuts.
Yeah, they're so good at this offseason shit. It's
Oh
it's
my
so good.
God. I'm dead.
But
3 days.
but the longer this Cody Bellinger situation goes on, you can even say for the Mets too, and the Yankees, Scott Boras is a fucking lunatic.
Uh-huh.
Like, what is he holding out for? This isn't Cody. This isn't. I'm sure Cody's like, yeah, man, just get me the best deal, and I want this, that, and the third, and get it done. This is just Scott being entitled to shit. Really, because why the hell isn't he signed yet? If not the Yankees or the Mets, why not is he signed to another team?
I don't know.
What are they waiting for? And it seems like the Yankees haven't even met with Tetsuya Imai at all. The thing is, they said that like 2 weeks ago that there's no meeting or anything in place, but he hasn't even came to the States yet. I don't know if he's here now, but if he is in the States, he better be going to fucking Yankee Stadium. I don't care if people are going to question that. Oh, he played in Japan. It's different in the MLB. Can he handle the workload? At this rate, I don't give a shit. Go. We need pitchers. Go sign them. I've been saying this for about a month now, because he's the only one who I felt that I was confident that we can actually get. Because it seems like the Yankees can get jack shit. So I mean, we gotta re-sign Bellinger. I don't care. If not, then go get Kyle Tucker, and then get Tetsuya Imai, and then you can never be wrong with more bullpen help. So whoever that is, do it.
I mean, I remember. Do you remember like 6 years ago? Like, I don't even know. 2021 was fairly active. I mean, 22 was pretty active. I mean, I don't know.
2019.
Yeah, I mean, 2019 was definitely active. Pre-COVID. I mean, dude, pre-COVID, before 2020, transactions, right? Acquisitions and trades were getting done on Christmas Eve, for Christ's sake. I mean,
Yeah.
stuff was getting done even during the holidays. But these last like 2-3 years, it's just been getting pushed to like mid to end of January, beginning of February. I mean, it's wild. When's the last time you saw Jeff Passan not post much for 3 days? I mean, nice little vacation that guy's got, but damn, that's pretty wild. That's not what baseball used to be. Baseball offseason used to be active the month of December, the winter meetings. Yes, some things have happened, but not enough. Not enough, not what we used to see. So yeah, the Mets, I'll just harp on the same thing. They have to get a left fielder. They have to get more starting pitching. They got to get another bullpen piece. It's really what it is. I mean, they still have work to do. They don't have anybody to protect Juan Soto. Left field is wide open. Could you maybe use Carson Bench, have him make the opening day roster, and have him at left field? Sure. But you also don't have an all around center fielder, like I said last week. I could keep on talking about the same crap, but that's just boring. It's like something's got to give. Like, what the hell are we looking to do here? Again, no plan. Another team, no plan. So sell me whatever you want to sell me, but there's really no plan here.
Tetsuya Imai, his deadline is on Friday.
Uh-huh.
There hasn't been one report about any team.
No. No.
So that means the Yankees have no fucking excuse. None.
No.
Absolutely none.
Uh-uh. No.
What, you're gonna let him go to the Oakland A's or some shit, or the Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Angels, whatever the fuck you call them?
Maybe.
Like, really? They have no excuse.
No.
None.
No. I don't know where these New York baseball teams are looking to go for the new year. But as I said before, the Knicks are literally New York's only hope of winning something next year. Based on how it's looking, unless, like, say, the Giants get an offensive or, as Dom wants, a defensive-minded coach, and they utilize the talent that they have on the roster, they get their two big names back in Neighbors and Scatterbo, and they're healthy and they're productive. Unless that happens, the Knicks are the only hope for New York sports fans to win anything next year, based off of what we're seeing with the other teams. That's really it for me for baseball, Dom. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, we can keep repeating the same crap, but that's just boring. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's everything with that. Now we're going to do take a seat, let's bet. Dom, you can go first with DraftKings. What do you got for us?
For DraftKings. Sorry, my computer froze in the background.
No, that's all right. Panthers at Bucks Saturday. Seahawks at Niners Saturday. And then, of course, Giants versus Cowboys.
Well, first I want to start off with, well, because it is Monday, I mean, I know people aren't going to see it till tomorrow, but I did make a little bet for tonight's game for the Rams at Falcons, Monday Night Football. I'm doing same game parlay, Drake London and Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown plus 420.
Okay.
And then we come for Panthers at Bucks. I'm going to do the Panthers money line well, same game parlay. Panthers money line, which is plus 130, and under 44.5 points. That's plus 300. And then Seattle or San Francisco, I'm gonna do another same game parlay where it's Kenneth Walker and George Kittle anytime touchdown. That'll be plus 525. If you want to do them separately, it's plus 140 for Kenneth Walker and plus 160 for George Kittle. And then for Dallas, at the Giants, the last game of the year for them, I'm going to do the Dallas money line. Well, same game parlay again. Dallas money line minus 245 and at the time of this, and under 52.5 points total. And that's plus 152.
Huh. Okay. All right. So those are all your bets for DraftKings. I'm looking at Monday night. I'm trying to see if I want to sprinkle anything on here. Looking at the Rams passing defense, and they are ranked 20th, and then their rushing defense is ranked 12th. So obviously, I would go with the passing opportunity. I would say Drake London. I would just take anytime touchdown Drake London. That's plus 170. I'm not going to do 2+ TDs, but I would also do a same game parlay and frankly pair that with Bijan Robinson getting a receiving touchdown. I know obviously the Falcons are a good pass defense, right? They're ranked ninth, but I would even throw in Puka Nakua minus 150. So I would do same game parlay, anytime touchdowns of Bijan Robinson receiving, not rushing. Drake London and Puka Nakua, and that's plus 755 for all of that for same game parlay. So that's the Monday night game. Then Saturday, Panthers at Bucks. I got I have Bucky Irving, first TD scorer for the Bucks plus 450. I could see that happening, so that's a possibility. And then for the Panthers, Rico Dowdle plus 120, and that's going to be a same game parlay of Bucky Irving, first TD scorer for Bucks plus 450, and Rico Dowdle plus 120. Same game parlay is plus 1029. So that's 1029. Going big baller on that one. As Dom would like it to be, risk it to get the biscuit on that. He's big on the
Yep.
risky bets, so he loves that.
Hell yeah.
But that's the Panthers at Bucks. Then Seahawks at Niners. I just got Christian McCaffrey 2+ TDs receiving plus 330. That's all I have for that. And Jets at Bills. There wasn't much to pick from because today's Monday and that game's not until Sunday. Thank God this is the last Jets game I got to bet on. And this is the last game I actually have to not even really watch, just talk about next week. But I just took Bills winning margin 14 plus points plus 140 because I don't see the Jets doing, frankly, anything. I'm sure it's going to snow up in Buffalo, but even if it wasn't snowing, the Jets can't play well in Buffalo to begin with. And it was at this time 10 years ago that the Jets just needed to beat the Bills in week 17 to make the playoffs, and they couldn't
Yep.
do it.
I remember that.
Rex Ryan took away their hopes of making the playoffs and ending at the time was only a 5-year drought, but couldn't do it. So great anniversary on that one. That was really
Yeah.
great. So, but oh, fuck me. All right. So that's it for that. Uh moving on to now take a seat, let's predict. I mean, dude, it's like 15 years. I mean, it's just like what the hell did I do wrong? I mean,
I
I gotta
just
I it's just it's unreal. It's
I just
unbelievable.
wasn't expected you to say that point.
I mean, it's just so sad. A 10-year anniversary of when the Jets actually could have made the playoffs just stripped away from Jets fans. Those poor bastards, the ones who buy season tickets and donate their money to Woody Johnson, essentially gets burned in a fireplace. But that's it for that. Take a seat. Let's predict. Tom, you go first. Giants versus Cowboys. How does the season end for the Giants?
Uh, I really want to say lose. If I want to be realistic, I'm gonna say that they lose like 30-14. But just in my mind, of just like how the football gods are, and then how much they hate the Giants, I think the Giants could actually win this game because I think that the Cowboys are just going to completely give up. No reports of injuries have come out yet, but that could change. They might sit Dak, they might sit CD, Javante Williams. They might do all that, and if they do that, then they're not going to lose this game. But let's say they all play, we're losing.
Okay. I think the Giants are just going to finish the season 3-14. That's how I see it, and frankly, so
Right.
are the Jets. So the Jets are at Buffalo, as I already said, playing the Bills. That's going to be a loss. I don't know if you heard my bet, but I said Bills winning margin 14 plus points at plus 140. I say it's going to be I think the score from this past Sunday is going to get replicated for this upcoming Sunday. I'm going to say the Jets lose and they give up another 42 points. I think Josh Allen comes back with a vengeance after that poor 2-point conversion throw yesterday on Sunday. And I think he comes back and storms down the field almost every drive. And I'm going to say the Jets lose. I'm going to say the same score, 42-10. I just don't see how they're even going to put up any type of fight. You could maybe say last game of the season, Jets are letting it all hang out, but they could have done that this past Sunday. Their season's been over for weeks now. But the thing is, they just don't know how to play football, and they have a coach on the sideline who, frankly, is doing tap dances when they get any kind of points and clapping when his team gives up drives. So I don't really see how they're going to do anything up in Buffalo, and I'm assuming it's going to snow, so that's going to be even worse for the Jets. So I'm going to say 42-10. Bills win. Jets finish the season 3-14, and they get the third overall pick. And I think the Browns could even win in Cincinnati against the Bengals. But even if they don't, it's not a big deal. They already won one of the two games I needed the Browns to win. So Jets are good for the third overall pick in the 2026 draft. Now we do the Knicks. Knicks at Spurs. Obviously, the Knicks play tonight. Me and Don predicted they'd win tonight, so hopefully that happens. Wednesday night, Knicks at Spurs. Friday night, Knicks versus Hawks. I actually want to take a look and make sure that those are
Then
the days. I think those are the days for their schedule. Yeah, Wednesday, Knicks at Spurs, and then
yeah,
Friday, Hawks, Knicks, and then they have a back-to-back, Sixers at Knicks, and then Monday is Knicks at Pistons. So, Dom, what do you got for a prediction?
oof. So are we including the Pelicans in this? No, right?
No, we're not, because we already
Yeah,
predicted that
yeah, we
last
already
week.
did that. Spurs, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna say they'll go 3-1, and then they'll lose to the Pistons. They'll
Three
lose to
and
the Pistons. We'll
yeah,
be at Detroit, and now we'll be at home against the Hawks. So I think that they're gonna play much better, to be honest. And then we also gonna need some vengeance against the Sixers, and we'll be at home for that. But the Pistons, they look really good, man. They look really good.
they do.
I said it last week. It's gonna be hard to play them in a 7 game series, probably even tougher than last year. And they're no joke. They're no joke. And Kate Cunningham is the truth. He really is, and it's gonna be a hard one, especially in Detroit.
Right. I agree with you. The Knicks still aren't a great road team. As you just saw, they blew, 10, 15-point lead against the Hawks in Atlanta. So, and by the way, I want to throw this out there. I'm reading a ton on almost every account on Twitter. The Hawks are looking to move on from Trey Young.
Yep,
So,
I saw that.
yeah, they're looking to get rid of him by the trade deadline. So, I don't know what the package would require. I don't know who would get Trey Young. I don't know what the Atlanta Hawks would accept to give away Trey Young, but that's going to be intriguing as we get close to the end of January. So I'm going to say Knicks at Spurs. I'm going to say the Knicks lose that one. They beat the Hawks. They beat the Sixers. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to say the Knicks step up away in Detroit. They prove what kind of team they are, and they're proved that they're legitimate contenders in the East, and they're the top dogs in the East, and they beat the Pistons in Detroit. So I'm going to say they go 3-1. They lose against the Spurs Wednesday night. They beat the Hawks Friday night. They win both of their games back to back, which is very hard to do in the NBA. They beat the Sixers Saturday night, and they beat the Pistons on Monday. So the only loss is this Thursday against the Spurs. So I say they go 3-1.
Solid, solid,
Yeah, I'm
solid
gonna
pick.
I'm gonna stick to that. They need to prove that they're legitimate contenders. So you got to beat teams like OKC and the Detroit Pistons. You have to.
True, very true.
Yeah,
I just wish we were able to play OKC in the Cup championship.
I know.
That would have showed a lot.
I know. I agree. I totally agree. It was a shame that we had to play the Spurs. But I
Yeah,
just think the Spurs are going to come back with a vengeance on their home court, losing the NBA Cup. I know we say, "Oh, don't put the banner up. It's just an NBA Cup. We want the real thing. We want the title, the Larry O'Brien Trophy." But I'm sure the Spurs, just being a sports player, right, having the sports like mentality, you don't like to lose. So I think they're going to come back and they're really going to show, their deep bench and how much of a superstar Victor Wembanyama is. So again, Dom goes. What was your prediction? You said they go
three and
3-1. All
lost to
right,
the Pistons.
lost to the Pistons, and I do 3-1, but it's the first game, not the last, of the weekly prediction. So that's it for that. Dom, anything you want to say before I wrap up today's episode?
Number one, now I'm winning this argument with Kat, like I've said 3 times already. I know what the hell I'm talking about. That's number one. Number two, the Yankees have no fucking excuse. I'm gonna repeat it again. They have no fucking excuse to not get Tetsuya Imai. Zero excuse. The only other top suitor is Chicago Cubs. That's it. Apparently, those are the top two. The Yankees and the Cubs. The Yankees should, if they got to overpay. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, the Yankees should be on the move for someone.
Yep.
They should be looking to acquire somebody. I mean, listen, both New York baseball teams need help, but it's just shocking how quiet the Yankees have been throughout this whole entire winter offseason. They need to start making some noise. For me, again, I said the statement before. I was going to save it until the very end of the episode, but I said it before when Dom was talking about the Giants and some teams not having a plan. I'm going to say it again. Aside from the Knicks, the New York sports teams that we talk about just don't have a plan. There is no plan in place. The Jets, once again, are lost. They're, as I said last week, they're going to be lost for another season. The Giants, maybe. The Giants have some sort of hope. They have talent, but it's all going to be dependent on who they hire as head coach and who their defensive coordinator is going to be next year. The Mets, they're not active enough. The Yankees obviously aren't active enough. They have a lot of holes to fill for both teams. We don't talk about the Nets. We don't talk about the Bills. The Bills even had a tough loss this past Sunday. Aside from the Knicks, New York sports, it's not really in great hands right now for the 2026 season. So hopefully those four teams, Mets, Yankees, Giants, Jets, can figure it out. But I'm not holding my breath on it, Dom. I got to be honest with you. I'm just not.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not at all. And
All right. Yeah.
yeah, we got to see. This is a good test for us, though. We'll play the Hawks again,
Mhm.
and then we'll play the Sixers again, which the Sixers are good.
Yeah.
VJ Edgecombe, that's his name.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He's nice.
He
He is
is.
nice.
He
And with
is.
him and Maxi, that's a good duo right there. And I mean, Embiid's not the same, but he's still a threat on the floor. And then the Pistons, we'll finally see if they're real or not. Which I mean, they look really real, but let's see how we do against them and with our matchups.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I just think the big game obviously is next Monday against the Pistons. That's going to show me
Absolutely.
that's going to show me who the Knicks really are, not just offensively, because we know they can be an offensive juggernaut at any point in a game, but who are they on defense? Because
Yep.
they need to fix their defensive issues. And there's just, here we go again, IDP, inconsistent defensive play. They are way too inconsistent. and they need to fix that ASAP. And I think the game next Monday is really going to tell us who they really are and who they can be going forward. I don't want to get too high if they win, but I don't want to get too low if they lose either. I want to be middle, but that is a big game next Monday.
Yep.
So is there anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. We're all good.
All right, great. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to today's episode of the FTB podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. See you folks next Tuesday. Peace.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.